You have a digital business such as a digital agency, a software, a SaaS, an e-commerce business, and you're struggling to grow your sales and get that consistency so you can actually put your business on a trajectory of nice growth. Well, stick around because in this video, I'm going to give you some great tips and ideas on how you can convert leads into customers. So if your business is struggling to grow sales, obviously to get more profit in your business, but you have consistent leads coming in, or you have some form of leads coming in, the key to growing those sales is actually more follow-up. And that's the mistake most businesses make. When a lead comes into a business, did you know that 48% of those leads are never followed up with, not even once? And 44% of those leads are only followed up once, maybe twice or three times at most. And yet studies have proven time and time again that 80%, that's 80, sales occur after the fifth follow-up. Think about that for just a second. Most leads are given up on after the first follow-up. Some businesses may do 2 and 3 follow-ups, but they really don't do any more after that. And that's where they're missing out on the mistake, because they're just leaving way too much opportunity and too much money on the table. This is why it's so important to follow up with your leads. And the key thing as well is you have to follow up consistently. Really, that first 7 days is the most important time frame when following up with leads. Because you think about this, somebody came into your business online, they interacted with your website or someplace with you on social media, and they've given you contact information. So you have a very short window of time for them to engage. Now, in that 7 days is the most critical, but even after that, most leads are still not going to follow up. It's going to take up to sometimes up to 12 follow-ups, and that can take place over the course of a year. But that's critical on why you need to follow up with customers, or I should say, why you need to follow up with leads. And that's where most businesses fail. You see, now being an M&A advisor, I get to see behind the scenes at businesses that are making the decision to actually sell. And I can see the profit and loss statement, all the financials, and I see the business model on what they're doing to grow their business. And the number one mistake that all of them make is they don't follow up with their leads consistently enough to grow that revenue, which ultimately leads to more profit. So then when they go to sell, it's worth more money. And that is the one area that you should focus on, and why it's so important to follow up with these leads consistently. So the first 7 days is the most important, but then after that, you need to stagger your follow-ups, but you got to remain consistent with that. Some examples of how you can follow up with businesses is, first of all, just thanking them for interacting with you, thanking them for either requesting more information or thanking them for an actual sale. You want to express gratitude for this. And you should do this in different modalities. So if they're reaching out to you on social media, whatever that channel was, you want to follow up with them on that channel, because ideally, or just if you think about this, that's going to be their preferred choice. So if it's on Instagram, you're going to want to follow up on Instagram. If it's on Facebook, you'll follow up on Facebook. If it's through phone or through an email address, you're going to want to follow up through email and or phone. Following up, you can provide them or offer them special offers on your business, something more of a VIP experience. You can also help customers get started with your product or service, giving them that little bit of extra information, such as educational information, whether it's written or through video. You can also be proactive in terms of like, hey, what additional information can I provide you so you can make a decision? Because ideally, if you think about this, they came to your business because they have a challenge or a problem, and they think that you can solve that for them. And so that's how you then have to demonstrate that. And again, using the different modalities. So if it's going to be either Facebook or Instagram, whatever they came to you first, you're going to want to follow up with them on that modality. But don't be afraid to follow up with them in various ways. So if it's on Instagram, follow up with them on Instagram. But then also if you've got their email, you're going to want to follow up on email. And if you've got phone, if you've got the ability and you have the opt-in where you can follow up with them through phone, through SMS, you can send them the occasional text. Now, obviously you don't want to abuse that for a variety of reasons, but those are just different ways that you can follow up with leads because it's going to lead to more sales. And again, going back to those statistics I shared earlier, 80%, that's 80, sales occur after the fifth follow-up. And yet 48% of people never are followed up with at all. That's almost half. And then 44% are after the first or second touch point. And so that's really the secret, if you will, is if you just do more consistent follow-up, you ideally do it in that first 7 days, just that alone is going to grow your business. The other benefit you can do nowadays is use artificial intelligence and automate a lot of this stuff. You can actually personalize some of your follow-up and you can automate a lot of that stuff. And that is where you can set your business apart from other businesses. Any small business at that point can now compete with larger players, or some of these large players aren't even doing this yet. So if you think about that, you're going to factor in AI with information that you've got in that customer, just a little bit of information, and then you follow up with them in different formats. You are going to stand out and give yourself a better chance to converting that into a paying customer. So if you're struggling right now to grow, go ahead and click the link of the button somewhere around this video to learn more. All right, thanks.